My name is Martin Scott. I'm a research director at Analysys Mason. I've been working in telecoms, media and tech industry for 18 years, specializing fixed broadband and in future entertainment applications. I'm really positive about FTTR as an access technology. It's still relatively early days. We're talking around about 10 million installs. But if you put that in the context of global FTTP rollouts, we've had, say, around 100 million net adds per year. Then that 10 million number actually is quite a significant proportion of net adds. That's primarily in China for now, but we've seen test launches and commercial launches in 4 different continents. And we expect uptake to grow quite significantly in the next 5 years. In terms of operators' main concerns for the rollout of FTTR at this point, I think they tend to focus on 2 specific areas. One is around the end-to-end value chain and its level of maturity and standardization. That standardization is coming at present. And then on the other side of that, there is the reality sense check of, well, when is this going to do? When are these future applications going to be real? Are we going to all be in the metaverse next year? Now, I think a healthy dose of cynicism can be balanced by evidence-based research saying, actually, things are moving faster than some people expect they are. And there's a very real case for moving something beyond the current in-home network architecture paradigm towards solutions like FTTR. Well, it's inevitable now, I think, that generative AI, now the genie is out of the bottle, cannot be put back into that bottle. I think fundamentally it is going to affect a wealth of applications and the way that consumers and everyone engages with technology. I think the impact of that on future applications is several-fold. First of all, I think it accelerates uptake of existing new technologies. So generative AI makes asset and content creation so much more efficient. When we think about virtual spaces, avatars, the metaverse, should it come to reality, or equivalent virtual reality spaces, generative AI is fundamental to making that technology evolve more rapidly and make its uptake evolve more rapidly. It's also really important from the point of view of things like APIs. It becomes a lot easier to standardize and to make different services interact together using generative AI. In the context of the connected home, that makes the movement of solutions like Matter and so on accelerate as well, meaning that we're more likely to see a more rapid uptake of connected home devices more rapidly as a result of generative AI. Furthermore, looking out to the more distant future, thinking about how generative AI may make us more efficient in the workplace, eventually there is the hope this may lead to increased leisure time for the whole of humanity. Where is that leisure time spent? Potentially it's spent on digital entertainment. That digital entertainment is enabled by next generation access technologies. So I think F30 is useful in a number of measures. Firstly, in terms of the amount of simultaneous devices that can be connected to any particular access point. We're talking over 300 devices per room potentially. I think when you're talking about the future of connected home IoT solutions, we're looking at growth from current connected device levels of 10, 15 devices per home to at least that per room, if not more. Depending on the rate of evolution, this could move quite quickly. And so having that high level of reliable connectivity to multiple devices is extremely useful. Beyond that, I think that seamless roaming between rooms is particularly useful because that opens up new use cases for mixed reality applications. The Apple Vision Pro headset will launch in 2024, and mixed reality, so augmented reality with pass-through the real world, is a fundamental part of that technology. I think that not just being a sit down on your sofa or sit in your office chair experience, but something you can take from room to room, increases the potential use cases. And that's something that's enabled by F30 technology. Thirdly, I think that the passive parts of the infrastructure, the point and multi-point architecture within the home, there's lots of stuff there that will be future-proof for a number of years to come, potentially through to the 2050s. Premium Wi-Fi is essential to the future of good quality broadband experience. And that goes well beyond entertainment, which is at the core of what we frame things around today. If we think about the impact of the pandemic on remote working, Analysis Mason conducted a survey of 20,000 consumers from middle and high-income economies from around the world in 3Q 2023. And in that survey, 24% of adults either work entirely or majority of their time from home. That is a massive connected workforce that need high-speed, reliable connectivity. Thinking about the evolution in education and training, that has shifted from being primarily an in-person thing to still primarily being in-person. There's a lot of hybrid delivery of course structures now at universities, higher education institutions, or even corporate training. Over time, we're going to see some of that move to AR and VR applications, and that's going to start to require very soon more than 200 megabit per second low latency connectivity, because we're not just talking about on-demand delivery of pre-recorded videos, but real-time interaction in time and space. And that requires better connectivity than we have these days. Beyond that, entertainment is still evolving and is still really important when thinking about the future needs for smart home Wi-Fi. So again, going back to our recent survey, we found that amongst adults aged 18 to 44, 20% of consumers say that they are very interested in trying cloud gaming soon. If you look at what's happening with recent announcements from Samsung, from Netflix, and from other providers that are diversifying the audience for cloud gaming, that's potentially going to open the floodgates to cloud gaming becoming a mass market proposition. Again, that benefits from high speed throughput and low latency. Beyond that, AR/VR applications, which I've mentioned previously, our survey says that 15% of adults say that within the next 24 months, they would be actively interested in buying an AR/VR headset. Those are big numbers. If you look at the percentage that say that they're pretty interested, it's a further 27%. Now, not all of those will translate into headset sales in the next 2 years, but I think a decent proportion may very well, depending upon consumer interest, buy and excitement generated by the activities of Apple, Meta, and others. So it's a really exciting time for the future of broadband connectivity and the applications that will drive demand for that next generation broadband connectivity.